Coming up in the news tonight, the month of May dubbed National Disaster Preparedness Month. Volunteers honored in West Grand, Bahama. And tonight in our health segment, we will take a look at scoliosis. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening. I'm Natalia Hall. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, the Ministry of Disaster Preparedness, Management, and Reconstruction has dubbed the month of May National Disaster Preparedness Month under the theme, We Are All NEMA, Stronger Than Ever. The objective of the month is to promote key messages and actions in order to strengthen preparedness and response at the national level. Now, Minister of State for Disaster Preparedness, Keisha Parker Edgecombe, at a press briefing in the Capitol yesterday, says the key to effective disaster management is preparedness, as it helps to minimize the impact of disasters. Minister Parker Edgecombe says the theme is centered on the concept that everyone, whether government, citizens, business, religious institutions, and civic organizations, have a role to play in a collective effort. In keeping with the month-long observance, there will be a high school digital essay and an art competition to engage students on topics of disaster management. Now, the Ministry of Disaster Preparedness, Management, and Reconstruction will close out the month with a National Day of Prayer on Sunday, May 30th. And is asking all citizens and residents to join in asking for God's protection during the upcoming hurricane season. In other news, over 50 members of the West Grand Bahama District Disaster Consultative Committee honored over the weekend for their dedication and service to the community during natural disasters. A special prayer breakfast was held in the West District under the theme, A Time of Reflection and Restoration. The prayer breakfast was held to celebrate volunteers who have given their time and effort during Hurricane Dorian and other natural disasters. The prayer breakfast taking place at the Mount Calvary Baptist Church in Seagrape, 8 Mile Rock. Assistant Administrator for the West Grand Bahama District Disaster Consultative Committee, Armenthea Newman, says the prayer breakfast was held in honor of the Minister of State for Disaster Preparedness, Management, and Reconstruction, and Member of Parliament for West Grand, Bahama, and Bimini, the Honorable Keisha Parker Edgecombe.
As we move into hurricane season, we just want to reflect on those lives that were lost in Hurricane Dorian. You know that Hurricane Dorian was very destructive for the island of Grand Bahama and in Abaco. So we just want to pray and reflect as we move into hurricane season that God would give us wisdom, guidance, and protection, and that, we will bring unity among persons in this community.
Minister Parker Edgecombe thanking the honorees for their efforts and says West Grand Bahama is one community.
I have never seen a bunch of young men and women that would have mobilized themselves over the years as I have seen in West Grand Bahama, giving of their time during a storm. This morning we are here to honor you and the agencies that would have come to the forefront to do what is best for our community, the churches that would have given of their facilities in a time of storm for shelter. This is what community is about. It is about joining hands and coming together and doing what is best in the interest of every single resident of our community.
As she says, before, during, and after a storm, residents must remain united.
We cannot let politics be the divider of who we are as a people. I'm going back to what David said. We each have a choice, but we have to be respectful of the choices that we make. At the end of the day, once that choice is made and the decision is made as to who we are going forward with governance, we never separate as a community. You fight with the PLP and you fight with the FNM. You fight for your community. And this is something I always encourage our people to do.
It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News. Administrators and staff at the Grand Bahama Children's Home preparing themselves for the upcoming hurricane season. Workers at the home took part in a 2-day training workshop with the National Emergency Management Agency. Officials say they are now better prepared in the event of a storm. Jamila Mizik reports.
The Grand Bahama Children's Home is now equipped with an emergency response plan ahead of the upcoming hurricane season. That according to NEMA Supplies Officer and Instructor Tammy Mitchell.
The work would entail everything they would need to know on how they would physically need to operate and run their own emergency shelter. We went through things like what a shelter is, what the needs, requirements would be of a shelter, and all of the emergency plans that they would need to have in action.
Administrator Pauline Bowen-Forbes says, as an instructor attached to the Department of Social Services, she had the opportunity of working as a shelter coordinator, which allowed her to be able to share that information with the workers at the home.
The home in itself is like a community or a village by itself. So we want to make sure we have all the necessary precautions as well as taken into consideration to make sure all of our children, all of our staff are safe at all times. So this particular workshop allows the staff to be able to expound their knowledge as it relates to being able to take care of the home, the children in the home, and also to apply the information to themselves in their own dwelling.
Now, as you may recall, the children were evacuated and eventually relocated to New Providence due to Hurricane Dorian, which is why Forbes says they want to be fully prepared as it relates to the children also knowing what to do in the case of an emergency.
I also want to use this opportunity to also tell parents to be mindful that they too also have to be able to have their children involved in the game plan, in the procedure plan as it relates to any particular incidents or any impending disasters that may arise within the home setting. Children also play a vital role. They need to know what is it they're expected to do. They also need to understand the importance of being ready, have their little backpack ready with their items such as maybe their coloring book, their crayons, because when they go into the shelters, you want to be able to have them constructively engage as it relates to being involved with activities.
GB Children's Home Executive Director June Hutchison noting that they now have a steering committee to be able to make preparations for any event or natural disaster.
Even having the staff to role play and problem solve what may happen was good for us to see them at work, because in that you can see certain skills coming out that you may not have seen in a normal setting. So we were able to identify people that can facilitate in this disaster preparedness exercise. So we're looking forward to being able to be more settled in that practice of what can happen and what should happen, because the safer they are and the more secure they are, the better then for the children. We don't have to panic and when it does or will come or may come. We know what to do and are calmer in executing that.
Shamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
In other news, the COVID-19 death toll continues to climb. 6 deaths on Grand Bahama, previously classified as deaths under investigation, have now been confirmed as COVID-19 related deaths. Now, those deaths include a 64-year-old female who died on February 22nd, a 68-year-old female who passed away on March 25th, an 80-year-old male who died on March 28th, a 61-year-old woman and a 56-year-old man who died on March 31st, and a 69-year-old woman who died on April 1st. Now, health officials also note that 4 deaths that were previously reported as non-COVID-19 deaths have now been classified to COVID-19 related deaths. As a result, the death toll has jumped to 209. Additionally, health officials advise that 3 deaths have been removed from the category of deaths under investigation category. Initially, 3 persons were suspected to be COVID-19 positive. However, following a further investigation, officials say it was determined that COVID-19 was not a factor in those deaths. Now to the latest COVID-19 dashboard. 30 new cases reported, 4 in Grand Bahama, 2 in Exuma, 1 in Eleuthera, and 23 cases in New Providence. There are 52 persons hospitalized, 13 are in Grand Bahama. The remaining 39 are in hospital in the capital, including 4 cases in ICU. There are 711 active cases. Recovered cases are just over 9,500. Health officials say the COVID-19 vaccine is an efficient way to contain the spread of the virus and prevent its future onset. While officials are encouraging residents to take the vaccine, it's not mandatory. Now, travel restrictions have been relaxed a bit for those who have been fully vaccinated. Jamila Mizik has an update.
Bahamian citizens and residents who are fully vaccinated, that is after receiving their second dose, will be exempted from COVID-19 testing requirements when traveling inter-island from Grand Bahama, Abaco, New Providence, Exuma, and Eleuthera to any other island. And international visitors traveling to the Bahamas from other countries who are fully vaccinated and have passed the 2-week immunity period will be exempt from testing requirements for entry and inter-island travel. Vaccinated travelers will still need to apply for the Bahamas Travel Health Visa and will be required to upload proof of vaccination, such as CDC or government-issued vaccine record card, with their application in place of PCR test requirement. Vaccinated travelers will not need to provide a negative COVID-19 PCR test prior to entry, submit to rapid testing mandates, or complete the daily health questionnaire during their stay. At this time, the Bahamas government will only accept vaccines by Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and AstraZeneca. Travelers who are not fully vaccinated will be required to follow all existing entry testing requirements, including applying for a Bahamas Travel Health Visa, provide proof of negative PCR test taken no more than 5 days prior to arrival, complete the daily health questionnaire, as well as conduct rapid COVID-19 antigen test if they are staying in the Bahamas for longer than 4 nights and 5 days. Meanwhile, residents and visitors must adhere to health and safety protocols, such as wearing a mask, social distance, and frequent hand washing. Health and safety should be the top priority for everyone. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Switching gears now, a juvenile female was shot while in her residence in Caravel Beach. Reported that on Sunday, May 2nd, 2021, shortly after 9 p.m., police were called to a residence in Caravel Beach. There it was reported that a juvenile female, while in her home, was shot to the upper arm by an unknown assailant who was on the exterior of the home. Now, police and emergency medical services were called to the scene. The young girl was taken to the hospital where she received medical attention and is listed in stable condition. Now, police are actively investigating this matter and are appealing to the general public for anyone with any information that can assist in their investigation to call the Criminal Investigation Department at telephone numbers 350-310-612, or call the police emergency numbers at 911, 919, or call your nearest police station. Now stay with us. There's more news right after this break.
On down. Now. Come on down. Now.
Hi, I'm Olympia Ferguson from Budget Pest Control. On Grand Bahama, there are only 2 types of homes, those with termites and those that will have termites. The signs you should look for are drywood termite fecal pellets, subterranean termite shelter tubes, and of course, damaged wood. We now have on Grand Bahama the Coptotermes formosanus, or the super termite, which can do extreme damage in a very short period of time. To know more and to protect your investment, contact the termite experts at Budget Pest Control. With us, it's not just a company behind you, but a family. We are located on 13 Forest Avenue. Call us today at 351-7378.
Connet Bahamas Mother's Day sale on all merchandise except AC units and special order cabinets. Freeport, Abaco, and Eleuthera. Follow on Facebook and Instagram for more information. Connet Bahamas.
You all thinking about catching a trip? Get all fresh up and catch the sailing with Valencia Caribbean. Passenger prices start at only $120 per way. And you'll love the onboard amenities while you relax and enjoy the view. Plus, the ferry is secured with all the latest COVID-19 protocols. Once you're done shopping, You're back home in no time with no hassle getting your packages. Bins start at $150, and the best thing is when you travel with your cargo, you eliminate the manifesting fees. It's easy, fast, and affordable. Book your trip now at www.valeriacaribbean.com.
This Mother's Day, thank her for always being there with a sparkling gift set from Pandora Jewelry, starting at only $99. Gift sets available while supplies last. See store for details.
ZNS Shopping Network is the place for deals. Bahamas, get ready for our national launch coming June 1st, 2021. For the first time ever, any store can advertise their sale items or discounted coupons on ZNS. And you get TV and radio commercials at never-before-seen prices. So if you got stuff and you want to put it on sale, we will tell the entire Bahamas about it. So merchants, log on to ZNSShoppingNetwork.com and click the Merchant Inquiry button and get started.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Now to our weekly health segment. Scoliosis is a sideways curvature of the spine that occurs most often during the growth spurt just before puberty. In tonight's holistic health segment, we hear that the cause of most scoliosis is unknown. However, it can be detected at an early age. Here is our Jamila Mizik.
If you're suffering or any other joint pain, then you may want to see a chiropractor. Today on Holistic Health, we talk to chiropractor Michael Henley about body alignment and its effect on your overall health.
Body alignment is, another way to say it is symmetry, or your body being symmetrical. So with everybody, you have your spine that splits your body in half, and everything on the right side is equal to the left side, all the muscle groups and bones, typically. And if one side is out of alignment or asymmetrical, not symmetrical with the other side, then it's going to cause misalignment or twisting in the body or muscle tightness on one side compared to the other, which can affect posture, create pain, discomforts.
And if you're someone who uses a smartphone often, then you may want to make some changes.
As you're growing, your spine and your body grows as we're getting older. And if you're in a prolonged position for too long, or for over time, for too long of a time, then your body it shapes to that what you're doing. So for example, for a lot of people that are on their phones a lot, that look down, their necks can sometimes change shape. We all have a curvature in our neck naturally that goes this way. And then if you're looking forward too much, it actually creates a reversal of that curvature of the neck. And then when you stop growing at the age of around 18 or so, that's how your body is for the rest of your life.
He shares this advice on improving your posture.
As an adult, a good thing to do for posture is just general sort of everyday self-observation. If you're working on the computer for too long, notice that you're slouching too much. Some people, if they have a computer screen, a guy in IT told me this a long time ago, he put a little post-it note in the corner of his screen and it said, "Get up." And so every 30 minutes or 45 minutes, he would see the note and he would get up from his screen, walk around, do something completely opposite to this position, and it helped his back out a lot. And of course, exercise, staying in shape, exercising, having a trainer, doing some sort of program on a regular basis, whether it's just gentle walking around your neighborhood or being involved in like a CrossFit class or something more advanced like that. Posture and muscle tone is good because it sort of pulls everything together and tightens the body up.
And how do you know whether you should see a chiropractor or a massage therapist? Well, here's the difference.
Typically, it's personal choice. A lot of people will go to a massage therapist if they feel tight, muscles are tight, knots in their backs, that type of thing. More than likely, they'll go to a chiropractor when they have neurological problems, sciatica, pain down the legs, shooting pains. They turn and their back, jolts their back, numbness, pins and needles, that type of thing. That typically will bring people in to see a chiropractor.
Now, Henley suggests that children receive spinal screenings early on to detect if there is a curvature of the spine, also known as scoliosis, because he says it is often undiagnosed. Until next time on Holistic Health, I'm Jamila Missick.
Thanks, Jamila. In other news, schools in Grand Bahama and around the world are still transitioning to virtual learning. The rapid global shift has increased the demand for electronic devices for teachers and students in the classroom. While the school on Grand Bahama is the latest recipient of brand new state-of-the-art devices to help navigate through this new way of learning. Jay Philippe has more.
The Beacon School receiving some 21 brand new computers and 14 projectors courtesy of the Beacon for Change, which is a charitable organization based in Miami, Florida. The devices were donated by Carol Gardner, president of Tucolti Economic Development. Sonless Martin Jr., chairman of Beacon for Change organization, was present at the school to make the donations.
We've been doing this for the last 10 years. Every year I reach out to Ms. Moss, the local principal of the university, of the school, and ask her what is the need for the school. And so she told me, this time we'll do computers and the projectors. So she did that, and we found it fitting to make it happen. Just to come here and just to see the kids, the smile on the kids' face, and just providing them the resources that they need. Because the need is a great need, and everybody's been affected, but you can't compare the effects on the island as compared to U.S.
The computers and projectors will be used by teachers at the school to carry out lesson plans. Principal T.T. Mackenzie Moss says that the donations will assist the institution tremendously as they navigate virtual schooling.
Every child in the school now has a tablet to use in the classroom, but our teachers were the ones who don't have devices. So I made sure that every teacher have a device, and we are so happy now that teachers can actually use the laptops and the projectors in the classroom to teach their lessons.
The Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable R.M. Lewis, and District Superintendent of Education, Ivan Butler, also on hand at the Beacon School, receiving those donations.
He's one of the Bahamians that was born here that moved to the States but didn't forget home. He always thought about coming back and giving back. Anything to do with the Bahamas, Sonless is on board. And I can say that from a personal perspective, and I'm extremely proud of him, and I would want to encourage other Bahamians living here or abroad to seek out an organization, seek out a cause to give back. He set a prime example, one that we should all follow, and I'm very proud to be partnering with him on this very important initiative. The Beacon School will be better off. There was a need, as indicated by the principal of this school, and we're here today to answer that need.
Today, this donation will go towards the teaching staff here at the Beacon School. Every teacher at this school will be afforded the luxury of having a brand new laptop and a projector for their class. So here at a school like the Beacon School, where special education is a priority for us, we are very pleased and very generous. We are very thankful for this generosity today.
According to Martin, for over 10 years, Beacon of Change has been working hand in hand with local communities, businesses, civic organizations, and Bahamian leaderships to help create change and opportunity for Bahamians. Rayvano Ferguson, board member of the Beacon of Change, adds that this donation is a small step towards a movement to build a more resilient future for young Bahamians.
It's definitely a good initiative that has been put in place thanks to Sonless. And again, the things that he does, especially in terms of giving back to the Beacon School and just the island in general, is to be commended.
I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
And now we go to a check on sports with our Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to sports. Michael Strong was drafted into the NFL on the weekend, becoming the first Grand Bahamian player to ever be drafted into the NFL. He's the first Bahamian-born player since DeVar Dowling was drafted back in 2004. Michael Strong was selected in the final round of the NFL draft by the Indianapolis Colts with the 229th pick. The 6'5" wide receiver that once attended St. George's High School says that hearing his name called on the final day of the draft was a dream come true.
It was definitely a dream come true. It was a patient process. I had to be patient. and continue to stay sharp and continue to work and get better. But when I heard my name called, it was just, like I said, a dream come true. And now I'm just excited to be Indianapolis Colts and be in a position to represent my country.
The huge target with speed and athleticism says it's now time to get to work.
Just to know that all of the hard work finally paid off. And moving forward, I'm just ready to continue to, bring some wins to the organization.
Strawn is expected to travel to Indianapolis in the next few days to meet with the team at the Lucas Oil Stadium, home of the Indianapolis Colts.
I'll actually be traveling to Indianapolis this coming Wednesday to take a visit, see the coaches, see the teammates, see the area I'll be at, and training camp starts in July.
Michael Strawn understands the importance of teamwork. In fact, his team of family and close friends were there on draft day as they witnessed history.
The support group is always great. It meant the world to me. They came over, they traveled all the way from the Bahamas, so I just wanted to give them an experience they never had before, and it was just a special time for all of us.
The Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Aram Lewis, also sending his congratulations to Michael Strawn on being drafted.
His family has been very active in the sporting arena. I know his mother, his father from way back, and they did a wonderful job of raising him. And like you said, he went overseas to a small school, not any of the big schools, but based on his performance, and when you look at the odds of being drafted in the NFL, he's broken some serious barriers. So he certainly has joined the list of other Bahamians who made it in the NFL, and based on what I see, his physical makeup, his height, his size, I'm 6'5", 229, 230 pounds. His focus seems to be so determined. And with the family support, I can see great things happening for Michael Strawn.
And that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
This Mother's Day, thank her for always being there with a sparkling gift set from Pandora Jewelry, starting at only $99. Gift sets available while supplies last. See store for details.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
The management and staff of Esquire Men's Freeport extend a happy Mother's Day to all mothers. For that special attire, visit Esquire Men's at number 8 Lucaya Shopping Center.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
The month of May is reserved for honoring mothers, perhaps the most important woman in all our lives. The Broadcasting Corporation invites you to celebrate Mom by sending us your Mother's Day greeting, no longer than 10 seconds for TV, or book your spot live on radio. Call the sales department here at ZNS for more information, 351-3430 or 352-9713. ZNS, creating memories and spreading the love.
And you don't
know me well, so just beware. Papa Smith be the name just to make it clear. I's a straight up dude, won't bend like a fishing pole. Tougher than every conch shell by the fishing hole. So raw with it when I spit it. Anybody wanna take it, one come get it. But my style be fresher than a brand new fitted. Who whipped the microphone? It was me that did it. From the land of the pancakes.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Portia Taylor, you're our Facebook friend of the day. We appreciate your support. And that's going to do it here for us in the North. I'm Natalia Hall. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, an appeal for help. The Bahamas scores its first Freedom of Information Commissioner, and a dip in COVID cases in the face of another death. Those stories and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, returns.
Do you know that adherence is more than taking medications? It calls to you to stick to the medical regimen as prescribed by your healthcare provider. If you have been asked to have your labs drawn to assess your kidney and liver function, please keep your lab appointments, as these determine the effects medications are having on your body. Follow-up doctor's appointments are necessary, as this is the time when the doctor performs a physical examination and discusses any test results and any concerns or issues you may have with your course of treatment. Specialized services such as physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy are necessary as they help to restore you back to normal health. Sticking to prescribed diet and exercise regimens can improve medication effectiveness and contributes to overall health and well-being. Make a commitment today to be adherent to your medication regimen and practice healthy living.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas AIDS Foundation with funding provided by PEPFAR, USAID Local Capacity Initiative Small Grant.
This portion of the news brought to you by BTC's Dollar Holla Deals.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for tuning in. A family of 5 is homeless tonight and relying on the goodwill of family and friends after fire ripped through several homes on Jenny Street in the Engliston community Sunday. One of those homeowners say the loss was great, but he is at least happy no lives were taken. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
A mechanic by profession, 63-year-old Thomas Daxon and his friends sifted through the charred tools of his trade, all that are left after a fire blazed through his home, destroying it and 8 others on Jenny Street Sunday. Just the shell of the family's uninsured home, along with 2 others that sat on the property, remain. The charred frame of a refrigerator and the burnt remains of a bed spring where someone once slept tell the story of what was lost.
If you could imagine what happened if you lose everything. I mean, if you was going home to your house, when you go home, you always see ashes, and you feel like it's a bum. Even though, you know, it could be a blessing, you know. But the house gone, what else could we do? We just wait, and then you watch and see who. Some people, Bahamians are very kind people, so I'm not going to say they're going to help. A lot of them going to help.
Daxon says everything has been lost, from the household supplies to the particles of clothes scattered across the burnt ground. The homeowner says he was not there when the fire started, but when he arrived, he watched helplessly as flames ate away at his home of 17 years.
When I got to the house, only the same part. It didn't catch the house good yet. So I was thinking that they're going to, the fire engine was going to be here, but I think a little while before they come, and they came. And they started to shoot water, but just like the water machine, you know, the water, like it wasn't enough water, you know, because they stopped shooting, and they said they ran out, they never came back. When they came back, this was gone.
His home is now in rubble, but he hopes for a better outcome should a similar incident happen in the future. Police have not confirmed the source of the blaze, but the longtime area resident says it started on the cluttered property opposite his, where he says a group of men squatted but did not live.
Some pallets and stuff was on this property. That made it like a fire hazard, you know. And after we had all of the suffer for it.
Daxon says at least 9 families are now without a home. His church has provided somewhere for him to stay for the next few days, and Daxon says with the help of the community, he looks forward to rebuilding.
All these guys here, they masons and carpenters and stuff. They say I could get the material to them and clean this stuff. They ready to go get a what do you call it, a blueprint or something from government and see. They could start your life back before the end of the year, you know.
As the 63-year-old looks to rebuild the life he and his family had less than 24 hours ago, Daxon appealed to members of the public to extend a helping hand where they can. He can be reached at 445-5213. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, we turn our attention now to parliamentary news after House members met briefly this morning following last week's abrupt adjournment. Our foreign carry fills us in on what today's agenda accomplished.
Members of the Chamber met briefly again on Monday morning after the proceedings ended abruptly last week, with the House Speaker blasting members for breaching their own COVID-19 health and safety protocols. During that time, he also highlighted a number of other work-related concerns after a staff member tested positive for COVID-19.
Honorable members, I'm pleased to report that in a discussion with the Honorable Member for Kalani, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, along with the Honorable Member for Southern Shores, the Leader of Government Business in the House, acting, and the Speaker this morning, all issues relating to any disagreements have been resolved.
That aside, the Prime Minister tabled a number of documents and bills which were read for the first time.
I beg leave lay on tables out the copy following: Value-Added Tax, Charitable and Non-Profit Rules 2021. I beg leave introduce and I've read for the first time a copy of the following: Bill for an Act to amend the Insurance Act, a Bill for an Act to amend the Securities Industry Act.
Anglican Member of Parliament Glenys Hannah Martin then gave notice of a number of questions the opposition is seeking answers to.
Will the Honourable Prime Minister advise whether license or permission has been given to any person or entity for the exploration of sunken treasure within the territorial waters of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas?
The business of the House of Assembly has been adjourned to Wednesday, May 5th at 10 a.m. Fern Kiri, ZNS Network News.
Well, for many years, individuals have petitioned successive governments to allow freedom of information, a critical step in providing transparency, accountability, and public access to the government's decision-making process. And while the law was initially passed in 2012, it's been a slow crawl to its enactment until today. Carla Palmer explains.
A promise made on the campaign trail by the government was fulfilled as retired Justice, the Honorable Keith Henry Thompson, is making history as the first Freedom of Information Commissioner in the Bahamas. The appointment made official upon receipt of instruments of appointment in a ceremony at the office of the Governor General at 1 Montague Place. Attorney General Senator the Honorable Carl Bethel was among those congratulating Mr. Thompson, noting that his newest appointment is critical to the advancement of democracy in the country.
The freedom of information, or the right to access information, is considered to be a cornerstone of modern democracy. It is of note that access of information is an important condition for all democratic societies, and the right of access to information is based on the principle of transparency in government. And we hope that this Freedom of Information Act will serve to buttress and support the principles of transparency and openness in government as an aid to good governance.
The AG spoke both on a personal and professional level of Justice Thompson, indicating it's the experience and expertise of the former teacher turned lawyer that led to his selection.
Standing his elevation to the bar, continued in his pedagogical outreach as a lecturer at the University of the Bahamas and at the University of the West Indies Open Campus. Justice Thompson indeed has the integrity, the experience, the background in law and administration, which will eminently qualify him.
Acknowledging the task ahead, Justice Thompson says he's up for the challenge.
For those who know me, they know that I love working. I will not back down from any challenge. And so I accept this new challenge in light of the fact also that it is a historical move for the Bahamas. And I'm happy, and I thank God for bringing me to this point and guiding me, protecting me. I thank my family, my wife, my children, my friends, who have always supported me, and I look forward to their support in this new venture.
Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
We switch over now to health, where positive news, few and far between on the local COVID front. But we can tell you that based on the numbers, new infections have been on a downward trend. That's from 30 on May 1st to 27 on May 2nd, for an overall total of well over 10,500 cases. New Providence still accounting for the vast majority of those cases with 23. The others? Well, one each on Grand Bahama, Bimini and Cat Key, Andros, and Long Island. 6 New Providence residents showing up on the list as having a history of travel within 14 days. Now, as of Sunday, 4 people were in the intensive care unit, 18 people had recovered, and there were still 24 deaths under investigation. That, however, brings us to the grim news that another person has been added to the list of COVID-19 deaths, a total of 11 for the past weekend. The latest victim, a 59-year-old man of New Providence, who health officials say passed on April 22nd. This as a total of 234 tests were completed on Sunday, 7 of them repeats, and 2 with inconclusive results. Still to come, the Chinese ambassador still making the rounds to senior government officials, and police need your help locating an alleged kidnapper. Those stories and more when the Bahamas Tonight continues. And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch live at 5 with Amajal Knowles, followed by the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern edition at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
A lot has changed over the past 60 years, but at Commonwealth Bank, our mission to build lifelong relationships with our clients remains the same. Our customers are more than just a number. Our customers are our family. And together, we create banking solutions that fit your unique needs. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The $20 combo, unlimited talk, yo, to every network you know. Across the Bahamas, I got 6 gigs of data, plus unlimited chat. It's a scroll over too. Now let me check my people on Facebook and WhatsApp. BTC is where it's at. I rock my combo.
Your BTC 10-day combo is now only $20 and is supersized with a new low price.
BTC do it again.
You know that feeling you get when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Serenity Gated Community. Come and see what all the buzz is about surrounding our pre-construction home packages. Already, we have successfully made it possible for multiple families to realize their dream of home ownership. It's all about value building, folks. Home investment is by far the greatest investment one will ever make. So invest with confidence. Give Desiree Mingo a call at 376-0318 today.
My name is Demetria Smith,
and I am a high school educator. BAF, when I got there, I was introduced to my insurance agent. She's more of a concierge for me. I can call her morning, noon, or night, and she's there for me. My husband, he's an entrepreneur, so he has the endowment plan. It tells us that later on when he retires that there's going to be something there to take care of us. They see to it that you have everything that you need. It's right at your fingertips, and they make it available to you without having to look. They have everything in one place. They provide everything that I need. They're right at my fingertips. It's just convenient. BAF is beneficial on so many levels for myself, my children, and my husband. They really care about you, and their services are excellent. I'm happy to have BAF insurance coverage.
Soundstripe.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
We return now to news on the economy. The country's foreign reserves remain steady, pegged at approximately $2.26 billion, according to Central Bank Governor John Roll. Roll, who spoke during a press conference on the bank's third quarter report, shared that balances contracted by $126 million at the end of March. He says due to the weakness of tourism and decreased spending, the economy continues to operate under constraints.
Afterwards, the coverage for the Bahamian dollar fixed exchange rate will still be robust. There has traditionally been less negative pressure on the reserve during the first quarter of the year, with 2021 being no different, because on a seasonal basis, the peak in private sector spending usually occurs in later months of the year. And this has helped to explain some of the lessened pressure observed during the first quarter. So far, credit to the private sector has also not generated strong impulse of foreign exchange, because even within the selective accommodation ranges for new financing that the central bank has sanctioned, lending institutions are still very restrained in the current risky environment.
The central bank governor cites that additional credit losses are expected in the commercial banking industry as recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic continues.
The delinquency rate at the end of March was 8.7% compared to a decade low of around 8% just before the pandemic struck. Hence, the full impact of the pandemic on the delinquency rate is still not yet materialized. As to the overhang of loans that are still benefiting from deferred payment arrangements in the banking system, these are only about 7% of total private sector balances, compared to just over 1/3 of such loans early on in the pandemic, meaning that a lot of the facilities that were being given deferral arrangements have now transitioned back to some form of payment arrangement with financial institutions.
Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, Her Excellency Dai Qingling, keeping engaged with senior government officials as she paid a courtesy call this morning on Minister of National Security, the Honorable Marvin Dames. The group discussed matters of mutual interest, including security. Civil Aviation and Airport Authority officials cementing their relationship with the United States Transportation Security Administration as its representative, Dwayne Murray, recently made an official visit to the Bahamas. The goal, to share information on the latest aviation technologies and security measures. The TSA views pre-clearance locations in the Bahamas as extensions of U.S. airports because of the required commensurability. In order to bolster future aviation security efforts with its international partners, the TSA will continue to collaborate on evaluating vulnerabilities that may exist at airports. As threats continue to evolve, the TSA will continue to work with Bahamian partners to pursue technological advancements that will make the global transportation network more secure for all passengers. 2 teen girls are tonight missing. How long that remains the case could very well depend on the information you provide the police. First up, 13-year-old Gia LaFrance of Zion Boulevard. A missing persons bulletin describes the teen as medium brown-skinned and slim-built. Her height is unknown. 2 years older is Sharina Bain at 15 years old. She too is from Zion Boulevard. Her description pretty much the same, save the teen's medium build. Both girls were last seen at their home on Wednesday, April 28th. Anyone with information on either of their whereabouts is encouraged to call the Criminal Investigation Department at 502-9991 or 502-9992, 502-9968, 502-9971, or download the P3 Tips app. Authorities also issuing a sketch of an attempted child stealing suspect. At this point, police have no name or address to go on. What they do suspect is that the man seen here is between 26 and 30 years old, has dark brown complexion, is 5 feet 7 inches tall, and slim build. Again, if you can help police out, call the nearest police station. From the courts, 41-year-old Quabanor Campbell today pleaded guilty to 3 counts of stealing by reason of employment, totaling some $16,000. Police say Campbell accepted the money from people for vehicles he never delivered. He was granted $8,500 bail, and the matter was adjourned to June 1st and 2nd. Campbell was initially on the run from police, but was arrested on Long Island, brought here to New Providence, and charged. Campbell appeared before Magistrate Darren's role in court number 5. Meantime, the Court of Appeal has ordered that a man serving time in prison for robbing and killing another man in Exuma 7 years ago be released from prison. This after the court quashed the appellant's 27-year prison sentence. Appellant Giordano Roll had appealed on the grounds that he was oppressed by police during questioning and that he never gave or signed the confession statement admitted in court. In its oral ruling, the panel noted that it had considered the matter, and for reasons which will be produced at a later date and made available, they found that it was not an appropriate case for retrial and not in the best interest of justice. The court then ordered that the appellant, unless being held for another matter, be released from prison. Roll's co-accused, Dimitri Roll, also had a 20-year manslaughter sentence overturned by the court for the same crime. The Court of Appeal has meantime upheld the sentence of appellant Thaddeus Cambridge, who was seeking an extension of time to appeal his 3-year sentence for possession of ammunition with intent to supply, claiming it was unduly severe. However, the court found that the intended appeal was woefully out of time and the reason provided inadequate. The panel then refused his application for an extension of time, noting that there was no prospect for the appeal to be successful. The court also found that the sentence was not unduly severe, and this having considered the facts of the case and the sentences imposed in similar cases.
Moms, we will never be able to thank you enough for always being there for us, protecting us, and teaching us how to maneuver through life. And this Mother's Day, we want to honor you in a very special way. So we are asking for you, the public, to send a video tribute of your mother and mother figure to k.sims@znsbahamas.com and watch it air live on the morning edition the week leading up to Mother's Day.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
The islands of the Bahamas continues to make its mark as one of the hottest Caribbean destinations as they go head-to-head for top spots in the World Travel Awards. This year, the Bahamas has been nominated for an incredible 9 categories, including leading beach destination, cruise destination, cruise port, honeymoon destination, luxury island destination, leading tourist board, most romantic destinations, and the Caribbean's leading destination. You can vote now by registering at worldtravelawards.com. Vote. You now have the chance to help the Bahamas achieve the highest recognition in global travel by winning tourism's ultimate gold standard. So what are you waiting for? Vote today. I'm Mercedes Demerit, and this is Tourism Today.
It's time to bounce back with B.O.B. It's time to bounce back with B.O.B. Lowest consumer loan rates in the country. Trying to bank with no stress, we make it too easy. It's time to bounce back with B.O.B. It's time to bounce back with B.O.B. Apply today for a B.O.B. Visa credit card, debt consolidation loan, or easy top-up. B.O.B., your bank of solutions.
This Mother's Day, you're going to need the card with enough rewards, not your credit or debit card, your Bahama Health Card. Enjoy discounts and promotions featuring all the things Mom loves: flowers, spa and beauty treatments, appliances, health, fitness, relaxation, food, and treats. And Mom, if they don't buy it for you, you can buy it yourself. Yeah, Bahama Health got you, Mom. Visit bahamahealth.com for further details. Happy Mother's Day.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
That's why we got the... When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Everyone's excited about the $8 meal of the day. Every day, it's a different 6-inch sub, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $8. That feels like fresh value. Come in any day of the week for one of your favorite 6-inch subs. Like turkey breast, meatball marinara, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, black forest ham, Italian BMT, oven roasted chicken, and tuna. Then add chips and a 20-ounce drink, and you've got the $8 meal of the day. A great meal at a great price every day of the week. Only at Subway.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Basketball is back, baby, and so is NBA League Pass, only with Rev Trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free, along with incredible prizes, including a brand new 50-inch smart TV, NBA gear, and more.
With tons of prizes and gear, signing up for Trio is the best on- and off-court move this year. Just call 601-8992 or visit www.rev.bs/promotions/trio.
Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals, and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
The increased economic impact from the cruise industry's return and the business reserved for Bahamians, the main priorities of the newly formed Bahamas Cruise Committee. The organization spearheaded by the Ministry of Tourism and Aviation and the Tourism Development Corporation. Consisting of high-level government representatives, the committee will partner with cruise lines to improve the numbers of visitors coming off the ships at every port of call, as well as ensure that through shore experiences, there is a greater trickle down into the economy, while monitoring concessions reserved for Bahamians, such as tours, water sports, and entertainment. With the advent of home porting, the Cruise Committee will be focused on encouraging more passengers to disembark while in port to shop, patronize bars and restaurants, and purchase tours and experiences. It will also encourage and assist entrepreneurs to locally source souvenirs, cottage industry growth to sustain the availability to protect two Bahamian products, and the necessary linkages between the domestic product and tourism. Building capacity to close the skills gap in the country, the overall purpose of the ongoing craft instruction certification course underway at Super Clubs Breezes. That story tonight from Carla Palmer.
The 4-day craft instruction certification course is a joint initiative by the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute and the Ministry of Education. Dean of Construction and Workforce Development at BTVI, Alexander Darville, says the concept of the 4-day course is focused on training the trainer.
We target these subject matter experts is that they are already certified in various different trades. For example, electrical, carpentry, plumbing, welding. What this training will actually do is give them the pedagogy training that they need in order to be able to deliver. For example, we have electricians sitting here. At the end of this training, they will be exposed to how to teach. So that pedagogy to be able to teach a class, they will achieve. Again, the training, even though the NCCER cert is 4 days, BTVI had 2 weeks training for them and teaching online and learning online and teaching essentials. So even though this is ending with the NCCER certification as a craft instructor, they would have been exposed to how you teach online.
66 persons from various ministries and departments of the government are participating in the course, not only here in New Providence, but Exuma, as it is being conducted simultaneously on a virtual platform.
Imagine, 2-3 years ago, persons at Harbour Island or Eleuthera or Andres would have to come to Nassau to actually get into BTVI because of our reach. Now we are training persons and have trained a number of persons to teach online and be able to actually beam into the different islands. But we have also, and we call it boot camps, where we'll send a subject matter expert down to an island to teach the practical component. So now BTVI is able to have its presence in more than 2 islands in the Bahamas.
With BTVI still closed because of the COVID-19 pandemic, President of BTVI, Dr. Robert Robertson, says the institute, although forced, showcased its ability in utilizing its technological skills to advance communication.
Really important because the standard we're working towards is it's a U.S.-based standard, but it's globally accepted. So it's in about 60 countries around the world currently, and construction companies essentially look to this kind of certification as they hire people.
Program Manager of PCE Construction Programs, located in Valencia College, Florida, Mark Hughes, is facilitating the course. Hands-on, he says, is his approach.
Everybody all the time, I could read a book about brain surgery all day long and probably pass the test, but that doesn't mean you want me to do surgery on you, right? So I need that hands-on experience.
Participants will have 10 examinations to successfully pass by Thursday before becoming internationally certified. Thursday is when the course ends. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Give it another few weeks and traffic police will be beefing up patrols on the streets of the capital targeting unruly motorists. Corporal Christopher Wims telling us that just this past weekend, a number of drivers were ticketed for numerous infractions.
The weekend is becoming a trend. We're all noticing it where it seems that everybody, everywhere, anywhere that they either have alcohol or large gathering, persons tend to go. You know what I mean? We have the COVID protocols in place. We also have the COVID enforcement unit. As I know they were out on Bahama Boulevard sometime on Friday after hours, and trust me, it was a day operation, but the only thing it was a night. That's how much persons were cited for breach of curfew.
And here's this appeal to motorists.
We try to ask persons during the weekend or every day, do what you have to do, at least give yourself by 8 p.m. Even if you run late, you still have sufficient time to get to your destination in a safe manner. But persons, they ain't paying attention at all. So we have to do, as law enforcement, what we have to do. All right? You're in breach of the law, you're going to be cited. Go to court, we come to court, we just doing our job. But our sole priority is to ensure that people stay safe.
Well, as the saying goes, forewarned is forearmed. Bahamas Power and Light again on the apologizing end this evening. This in relation to what officials admit are issues with fuel logistics at the company's Blue Hills power plant. BPL noting in a release that the service provider, Sun Oil Limited, has assured that all necessary steps are being taken to remedy the matter and that the two companies are working to stabilize the power supply while corrective actions are implemented. However, until that happens, some BPL consumers may experience short outages. Well, we have a correction to make in a story we just aired. We reported that Quabanor Campbell was arraigned in court today for fraud charges. However, it was Stephen Major Jr. who was arrested by police in Long Island and charged in the magistrate's court today. We do apologize for the error made. As we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Mario thought he could have his cake and eat it too. He almost found out the hard way that if you don't insure your home for the full replacement value, when it comes time to make a claim, you won't get the full payout. It's called the condition of average. If your $200,000 home is destroyed by a hurricane, but you only insured it for $100,000, half the value, you'll only get half of that $100,000 payout. Actually, less than that, because there's also a deductible, which will be deducted from your payout. Check your home insurance policy for the condition of average clause and ask your insurance agent or broker how condition of average would affect you. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interest.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Hey guys, it's Shay again with another quick tidbit on the perks of being an Alive customer. Now, if you're already on our network, this may just be a refresher for you, but if you're not, this might give you that extra push. If you're interested in getting a bill every month, or you're interested in the best prices on some of the latest devices, or if you've been a little bit interested in that auto pay option, this might be for you. It's time for you to join postpaid and experience opulence. Simply put, being an Alive postpaid customer means you selected the plan of your choice and you then pay for that plan routinely every month. Unlike prepaid, where you can fluctuate between 7-day and 30-day, all postpaid plans are 30-day plans. So what are some of those postpaid plans? We have our Liberty More, which is $59.99, gives you 10 gigabytes of data, 500 talk and text minutes. Or we have our Liberty Premium, which is $99.99 per month and gives you 20 gigabytes of data, 1,000 talk and text minutes. Or we have our Liberty Elite, which is $149.99 a month, includes unlimited data, talk, and text, and 1 gigabyte of roaming data. Again, all of our plans include unlimited Alive-to-Alive calls and text. Now listen, we also have postpaid MiFi plans. That's right. If you have a MiFi device, you can purchase postpaid data plans, MiFi Basic, MiFi Plus, and MiFi Preferred. So what else can you look forward to? Even though we are still practicing social distancing during this time, as a postpaid customer, you not only have access to exclusive offers and devices, but exclusive invites to virtual events hosted by Alive in partnership with local vendors and access to special offers at many vendors on our List Rewards app. So there you have it. If you're a prepaid customer and you've been thinking about making that postpaid switch, we hope that this helped. If you're not an Alive customer, what are you waiting on? Alive, believe in best.
Defense Force officers on their toes as the Atlantic hurricane season nears. At this point, we're less than a month away, and officials are not prepared to take any chances, having learned valuable lessons coming out of 2019's Hurricane Dorian. NEMA Commander Captain Stephen Russell disclosing during Sunday's press conference that the RBDF is in the throes of maintenance repairs and replacing spare parts, and that the HMBS Lawrence Major is in Suriname undergoing machinery refit.
Further, the Commander of the Defense Force has appointed a hurricane preparedness coordinator for the direct oversight, planning, preparation, and execution of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Hurricane Orders 2021. Subsequently, in April, the RBDF Hurricane Orders 2021 were promulgated, and this week all branch commanders and heads of departments will brief the Commander of the Defense Force on the departmental action plan in accordance with those orders.
Commander Russell's comments coming during Sunday's virtual press conference. May has been designated National Disaster Preparedness Month. The theme, we are all NEMA, stronger than ever. According to Minister of State for Disaster Preparedness Management and Reconstruction, the Honorable Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe, here's what's in store.
Media interviews and programs with messages of preparedness. A comprehensive exhibition will be mounted on the grounds of NEMA on Gladstone Road, where disaster management partners will exhibit and share their role in disaster management. A high school digital essay and art competition to engage our youth, our students, on topics of disaster management. We will end the month of activities with a National Day of Prayer on Sunday, May 30th, when we ask that all citizens and residents join in asking God's protection during the hurricane season.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Commissioner. And right now, outside of our studios, not too bad. A bit of cloud and sunshine. We have a temperature of 82 degrees. Relative humidity stands at 65%, and the winds are out of the south at 12 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure, 1,016.3 millibars. That's 30.01 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the outlets this evening, well, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 81s in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Grand Key, Marshall, Babaco at 80 degrees, 82 in the Berry Isles, 83 in Alistown, Bimini. Harbor Island, 81, 82 in Rockstown, Eleuthera, Staniel Key at 82 degrees, and that extends into Kemp's Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. In Otterstown, Cat Island, Georgetown, Exuma, Rumkey, and San Salvador, all at 81 degrees, 82s in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Meguana, 81, Acklands, 81, Matthewtown, Inagua, 82 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Ball, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. For all areas tonight, you can expect southeasterly wind speeds around 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet, and that constitute a caution flag throughout the 700 hours tonight. Low tide will take place at 8:25 this evening. Tomorrow for all areas, once again, the winds out of the southeast, slightly stronger at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet, hence the caution flag continues. Seas low tide takes place at 9:25 in the morning, with the high tide at 3:27 in the afternoon. Now, as we roll you into the middle of the week, Wednesday, in the northwest and central islands, the winds fall off quite nicely to reasonable levels. Southeast at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights down 2 to 4 feet, so we will drop the caution flags for the northwest and central islands on Wednesday. Low tide takes place at 10:24 in the morning, with the high tide at 4:31 in the afternoon. Now for the southeast bombers, we will continue with those cautions. Southeasterly flow 15 to 20, and the wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
In the darkest night, don't know the lightning and thunder. It was the darkest night. Hear it boom, hear it boom, hear it boom, 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 boom. Oh, feel it boom, yeah, feel it boom, 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 boom. Yes, it sure was the stars above. What goes up must come down. Here's a man that is born of a woman, has about a short time to live. Good God.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
May I have your attention, please? This week's specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets include Best Yet Cornflakes, 18-ounce box, $2.49. Hunt's Ketchup, 32-ounce bottle, $2.39. Fresh Yellow Corn, 3 for $1.99. Chicken Leg Quarters, 10-pound bag, $1.19 per pound. Best Yet Evaporated Milk, 12-ounce can, 95 cents. Super Value Winton, open Sundays, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Super Value Cable Beach, open Sundays, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
We're ready with the newly remodeled reception area. We're ready with your safety as our top priority. We're ready with state-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, and an enhanced patient information platform with online access to your reports for your physician. At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we're ready to serve you. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call to make an appointment today.
The $20 combo, unlimited talk, yo, to every network you know. Across the Bahamas, I got 6 gigs of data, plus unlimited chat. It's a roll over too. Now let me check my people on Facebook and WhatsApp. BTC is where it's at. I rock my combo.
Your BTC 10-day combo is now only $20 and is supersized with a new low price.
BTC, do it again.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports. Well, after much anticipation and having to wait 3 days to hear his name called, the fulfillment of a lifelong dream happened for Bahamian Mike Strawn this weekend as the Charleston wide receiver was drafted in the 7th round by the Indianapolis Colts. Strawn speaking to media about the feeling.
You know, first of all, God is just good to me. I'm here with my family that came all the way from the Bahamas for this moment, and we have been patient throughout the whole process. You know, with me getting that call, it was such a special moment for me, and, you know, it really touched me. I tell people my dad, in fact, played football for Bethune-Cookman under Coach Larry Little in the 80s. You know, so football comes natural for me, and I was able to learn it and attain all of that information at such a young age. So, you know, when it comes up with me, you know, being from the Bahamas and people think, you know, I'm new to football, I'm actually not, knowing, you know, with my dad and his background, where he came from.
Well, the Barbados Aquatic Sports Association said that it will not be able to host the 2021 Carifta Swimming Championships because of the COVID-19 pandemic. In a letter signed by the BASA President Cheryl Lady Ford, dated May 1st to the respective Carifta federations, saying after careful consideration and consultation with their local Ministry of Health and the COVID-19 monitoring unit, the BASA is unable at this time to give any indication as to when Barbados will be allowed to host sporting competitions competitions. In addition, the Aquatic Center has been closed for the last 3 weeks due to heavy ashfall from the La Soufriere volcano in St. Vincent. The letter also pointed to spikes in COVID-19 cases in neighboring states. This is the Bahamas Aquatic Federation was set to send a strong swim team to defend their three-peat and get a chance to claim its 6th title in the last 7 years in Carifta swimming. Now they'll have to wait until 2022 for a chance to accomplish that feat.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Tell me, what are you doing to improve your life?
Since COVID-19 is reading, that's something in itself because it's so bad. So yeah, it's engrossing.
Join me for Direct Talk, live with David G. Weekdays at 11 a.m. on the Bahamas Radio Network.
In this age of spin, when so much information is suspect, people are searching for information they can trust. The answer? A closer look.
We made tremendous progress with respect to reducing the deficit.
The fact that there will be more infections suggests that there could be more deaths.
But if it is more transmissible, and those strains are all more transmissible, then it means that more people will get infected, more people will have symptomatic disease.
Something about metering.
You're not going to be able to owe BPL $10,000, $20,000.
That situation is in order now, eh?
As you load up that meter, you can use your power.
We in essence, have done something with a health travel visa that's going to help our tourism product.
A closer look with Anthony Newbold, where you get the facts you can believe in. Mondays at 8 p.m. and Wednesdays at 9 a.m. right here on the ZNS Television Network.
He is a legendary hero from the ancient past. A noble ruler from a time of chaos and death. His name is King Arthur. He is a fierce warrior and a mighty leader. His people say he is the once and future king.
Arthur will come back and fight for the land.
Arthur and his mythical knights fight off the bloodthirsty hordes and bring peace to the land.
Do you know that adherence is more than taking medications? It calls to you to stick to the medical regimen as prescribed by your healthcare provider. If you have been asked to have your labs drawn to assess your kidney and liver function, please keep your lab appointments, as these determine the effects medications are having on your body. Follow-up doctor's appointments are necessary, as this is the time when the doctor performs a physical examination and discusses any test results and any concerns or issues you may have with your course of treatment. Specialized services such as physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy are necessary as they help to restore you back to normal health. Sticking to prescribed diet and exercise regimens can improve medication effectiveness and contributes to overall health and well-being. Make a commitment today to be adherent to your medication regimen and practice healthy living.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas AIDS Foundation with funding provided by PEPFAR, USAID Local Capacity Initiative Small Grant.
One of the things that the church must be aware of, that this is no seat time and season for us to get so deep and holy that we can't hail folk who hurting next to us. We can't hail the people in our neighborhood. We can't see how hungry they are. We can't get too deep, brothers and sisters, and so anointed that we forget that if someone hurt you, you gotta forgive them.
Sundays at 8:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
It's a part of all our lives. ZNS TV is where we go for information, entertainment, and enjoyment. ZNS is there with something for everyone.
Kids, lunch is ready.
ZNS TV, a part of our lives for 40 years.
New year, new time. Watch Conversations with Christ every Sunday at 10 a.m. And I'll tell you why. Because God said 1,000 years is like a day for me. And that's why you could have a thief on the cross pray for just a few seconds and get forever, and get forgiveness, and get eternity. So every single Sunday for 30 minutes, we're going to praise God together. So every Sunday at 10 a.m., Conversations with Christ.
Tell me, what are you doing to improve your life?
Since COVID-19 is reading. That's something in itself because it's so bad. So yeah, it's engrossing.
Join me for Direct Talk, live with David G. Weekdays at 11 a.m. on the Bahamas Radio Network.
This is our legend.
We are missing out some stuff because every man is pretending that the world begins with him.
Art and art education and a passionate commitment to public service defines a life that has left its imprint across the Bahamian archipelago. His most enduring impact, though, may be his design of the country's coat of arms.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we direct you to our satellite picture, and there's a ribbon of clouds floating through the northwest Bahamas. Most of that is that high cirrus-type cloud, so you don't anticipate any significant rain developing out of that system as it continues to sink towards the south. Our forecast for tonight calls for mainly clear, a bit on the humid side because those winds will remain out of the south for the greater part over the next couple of days, and that will keep us into that warm sector. Hence, those buoyant temperatures will trigger perhaps some afternoon showers. We'll get to that in a short while. 75 degrees for your low temperature tonight, and tomorrow we're looking at breezy in the morning, otherwise mostly sunny with the slight chance of a brief pop-up shower because of the very warm temperatures and those winds. 87 degrees will be a high temperature tomorrow. The extended weather forecast over your 7-day cycle, which is routine, we're keeping you pretty much in the mid to upper 80s throughout the 7-day cycles, with your nighttime temperatures remaining in the mid 70s. And skywise, there's going to be lots of sunshine during the